We're living in this unique time in history where the vast majority of people don't know Jesus. They're trying to find their hope, their love, their comfort in the world, and we know that's not going to last.
We had this little camp, and the whole theme of the camp was the next step. You know, we're heading into planting this church. What's the next step for us? And Guy does this sermon, and he preaches at Cracker, and everyone's pumped up. What is God calling us to? What is our next step? So silence at first, and then someone finally puts a hand up, and she says, "Oh yeah, you know, I just really feel like God's pressed on me that." My next step is actually to leave this church, which was not quite the answer we were looking for.
The police are chasing some fugitive. We're like playing a kids game next to it.
Beer and hymns, an unlikely mix, but that is the secret to the Anglican Church's latest efforts to take religion to the people.
Kids meeting on a sticky floor in a pub with smashed glass. And it just made our City Kids area look like an abattoir.
We didn't have any heating, and on one occasion I had the brilliant idea of bringing in this massive diesel heater, and that heater was throbbing away, and I was like, yes, ministry is going to happen this morning in warmth. And the next thing, Steve Piano yelled out, "The stage is on fire."
You came to me in August and you said, "Guy wants to start a church," and I said, "There's no freaking way we're doing this. I'm about to have a baby."
We were really small at the start.
There were early days where church was 7 of us in a room.
Wondering, is anyone going to show up?
The doors were locked and the locks had been changed. Running services during a pandemic, not being able to meet in the building that we were meeting in.
Had our lead pastor resign. We've struggled with this organisation and doing this every single week.
I'm not as clever as I thought I was. I'm not as gifted as I thought I was.
I really felt, I was very fearful that this was the demise of the church. How are we going to survive if we couldn't be together?
I have to remind myself, and I'm reminded that God is ultimately the pastor of the church. He's working in people's lives.
This has got nothing to do with us. This is God moving.
When Jesus says he is building his church, he means he's building at it.
We'd gone into lockdown, we'd been separated, and when we actually met together that first Sunday, I think I just cried the whole time because I just thought, amazing moment of God's provision.
Prayer became the lifeline for many people.
Our community in many ways has continued to flourish.
Hearing people behind us singing praises to God and seeing a room full of people, seeing many kids in the other room.
We have prayed for healing and we have seen healing. We have seen God provide with venues and musicians.
It was a weekend of great community, of fellowship, of hanging out, of laughs, of celebration, of fun.
3 months later they're serving, and then 3 months later they're in a gospel community, and they're building a community of people who are pointing them to Jesus, and they're pointing people to Jesus.
I'm praying that people who have no idea who Jesus is would be able to walk through the doors and encounter the gospel. God's placed eternity on the hearts of all people. No, they're not going to find the answer in the world. They're going to find it in Jesus.